8 Central Reserve Police Force men were killed and 20 others were injured after terrorists ambushed a convoy of the security forces on the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway. With 6 attacks in 3 days, the concerns continue to mount for the security forces. Shujaul Haq reports.
Final farewell in Srinagar to the 8 CRPF bravehearts who fell to a hail of bullets on Saturday in the worst terror attack in Srinagar in the past 3 years. Besides these 8 soldiers, 20 others were injured when a CRPF convoy was ambushed near the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway in Pampore. They were returning to their base.
हम लोग फायरिंग करके आ रहे थे। साल का फायरिंग होता है। अच्छा। उसके बाद अचानक 2 के बाद आके हमारे गेट पर बस पर फायरिंग कर दिया। अच्छा। इस बार अचानक गोली बरसाने लगे हम पर।
हाँ बस में था सर। अच्छा। कम से कम 15-20 मिनट फायर चला।
अच्छा। कितने आदमी थे वो?
उसमें सर 2 ऑन स्पॉट मार गए जो।
Security forces immediately retaliated, killing 2 terrorists. However, 2 other terrorists managed to escape.
जैसा मैंने कहा, ये चिंता का विषय तो है ही, और विशेषकर जब अमरनाथ यात्रा का समय आने वाला है तो ये कोई सुखद संकेत नहीं है। मुझे विश्वास है कि प्रदेश सरकार और सुरक्षा एजेंसीज इसका उचित संज्ञान लेते हुए उचित कार्रवाई करेंगी।
ये अटैक्स जो है बेसिकली डेस्परेट अटैक्स है। आप पिछले 1 साल में इस 6 महीने के अंदर अंदर आप देखेंगे काफी मिलिटेंट्स न्यूट्रलाइज किया गया, उनकी लीडरशिप वगैरह भी एलिमिनेट किया गया है।
Minutes after the dastardly terror strike, Lashkar-e-Toiba claimed responsibility. In a statement, the terror group threatened to carry out more such attacks. Shockingly, Pakistan refused to condemn the attacks.
देखिए, मैंने कहा कि जम्मू और कश्मीर का जो मसला है एक तनाज़ा है पाकिस्तान और भारत के दरमियान, और दोनों ममालिक इस बात को तस्लीम करते हैं कि इशू है जिसे मुज़ाकरात के जरिए हल होना है। तो हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि वक्त आएगा जब दोनों ममालिक मिल बैठेंगे और इस मसले का हल तलाश करेंगे।
The entire security establishment has been put on high alert because the highway on which this attack has taken place has seen many such attacks that have happened in past few weeks itself. Certainly the security establishment must be worried about it, and there must be steps that they would take to ensure that these incidents are minimized and are put under check.
What's even more alarming, intel inputs already point at a dramatic increase in the infiltration bids from across the border within the month of June. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me go across to my colleague Kamaljit Kaur Sandhu, who is joining me live for more on this story. Kamal, of course, a security nightmare that would have been for the forces there, and it brings up a lot of questions. We have lost 8 brave Jawans. There are questions about SOP. There are questions about repeated attacks. Before we point fingers at Pakistan, what is the government doing to ensure that such attacks and SOPs are followed?
Well, Ankit, this is obviously a very fluid situation. Remember, intelligence was available with not just the CRPF, but with the entire JKP as well as the agencies there. So yes, the element of surprise is definitely there. Considering that these men were actually also returning from a firing practice is also a point of matter. But remember, these situations remain fluid, as I mentioned to you earlier. In the previous attack, also a bus was attacked, and we've seen that happen not just in Pampore yet again, but also in Udhampur. The target is obviously a bus because there are too many people who are actually inside the bus. The target is to deflate the bus, obviously try and get them trapped and then kill as many people as possible.
Yeah.
The 2 men were neutralized, but the number of casualties, even as far as CRPF is concerned, is extremely high. 8 is the number. Now, we also know as far as counter-insurgency operations are concerned, they've also managed to kill quite a number. But remember, even though as number of militants compared to the past decade has come down considerably.
Yeah.
We've been told that there are 114 local militants compared to 70 foreign militants. But remember, there is an infiltration bid which is continuously on. This is obviously, as you mentioned, the SOPs to place in to actually have procedures put in place. But when an encounter does begin and the firing does start, it's very difficult to actually talk about that particular situation.
Absolutely. You're very right there, Kamal. I mean, not only the steps would have to be, the SOPs would have to be revisited, but as you pointed out, there was intelligence available. Strong action needs to be taken if there was some sort of callousness, because losing 8 Jawans and other 20 injured, of course, is a big dent on the morale also of those serving there in